Hello, Agilists. Welcome to this edition of the parking lot. Today's parking lot question is one that comes a lot in terms of regression testing. So, how does regression testing work, especially if you're in a Scrum team and sprints come and go by fast, right? So what can we do? What are some ideas around regression testing? So we do this quite often. So let's look at that topic in a little bit more detail. So when we think about sprints in Scrum, right? So think of, let's say we are in sprint number 15, right? So when we are in sprint 15, maybe we finished, let's say two features were done, right? So the team completes, let's say two backlog items and two features are complete, okay? So then the next sprint comes along and the sprint team let's say finishes five new features, right? So totally now we have um, five plus last sprint has got two features. So we need to now test not just these five features, but we also need to be testing the other two features that we built, right? So regression testing is this summation of all the features that we are building over sprints. So it pretty quick adds up because it's fairly tough to do this manually if you're always depending on manual processes to go do regress all the sprints. Imagine you're going building sprint after sprint. So really the only way to get around this is to automate these things. So generally in agile teams, when we talk about automation, we talk about three kinds of tests. Uh, we got most of the tests that we have in the test suite are unit test, automated unit test. Then comes along a little chunk of it is the automated integration test um, that test integration between different parts of the system with other systems. And then on top of this layer, that is what we call as the functional test, right? So that's now why we to regress all of these tests, unit and integration. Certainly we want to be able to regress the functional tests because these are the end-to-end tests that we need to make sure that that is absolutely running, right? So if you flip this picture and think about your build process, right? So what we may have is we may have different types of builds. So we may have a unit build, integration build, and a functional build. And when you are automating this, the build system will automatically go and it will go from your first one is unit. And if unit works fine, then the integration build will run. And if integration works fine, then the functional build or the end-to-end test regression test suites will run fine, right? So what we need to make sure is all the three builds are green so that this is green, and if this is broken then this doesn't really run. So then if this integration is working then the functional runs, right? So like that, we sort of regress. We keep When we say regression, what we mean is running all the tests in the test suite, which pretty much covers all the features, main functional tests that covered all the sprints that the team has worked on. Okay, so that's the topic for today. Thank you very much.